Hello, hello, and welcome back to Cinematic Epic. I am your game master, Adam, and we'll be weaving a narrative today for just a few of our heroes, as we are going to be doing some cool split sessions, two-person sessions, to describe what's going on on either side. Before we get too far into that, we do have to give a special shout out to Tabletop Audio. Tabletop audio is an awesome tool that allows us to hear things. It lets us go from dungeons to bars, from bars to the wild plains, to the enchanted forests, to the Arctic tundras, and even to sci-fi. So even if you are in a different setting, you too can have your audio, the way it can bring everyone together. But like I said, today's session's a little different. We only have two party members because the party is split up. They are not all together, and things gonna get a little dicey because we left these two heroes. We have Jin and Breakspear today. We left them knocked out cold. Well, Jin might protest that he was not knocked out, and he just fainted from the fatigue. But regardless, both of them are laying on a stage like a couple of chumps. How are they going to get out of this as the guards come ever closer? The goons, the thugs could be around any corner. Who knows? Only time will tell. But the only way we're going to be able to start to tell that story is to bring in our party for the evening. So without further ado, Jin and Breakspear. How we doing?
Hey, welcome back. We're doing great.
Right. This will take half the time it usually does. So Breakspear, how are we doing?
Well, first off, hello, I'm Ian. I'm going to be playing Breakspear tonight, who is a almost said the wrong thing, 4'5" Draculin. Tonight, we are frustrated because after getting knocked out by our own friend, who seemed really not himself last time we saw him, as he fruit roll-upped a man's arm up, we're a little nervous. We don't know exactly what's going on. So tonight is going to be fun and dangerous. So let's get to it.
Yeah, Breakspear almost grew a whole foot there for a second. he might have started looking children in the eyes. But we do have another party member to introduce, and that is none other than the fruit roll-up machine himself, Jin. How we doing?
I'm doing all right. My name is James, and I'll be playing Jin tonight. He's a 5'8" human from a distant community called Hermit's Hollow. Last time he had a little bit too many magical steroids. One too many magical steroids, and I'm pretty sure he probably doesn't remember roll up into this man's arm, his friend's arm, and then pressing this man's head up. Oh, we'll see what happens. He's unaware right now. He's unaware of mind and of memory.
Yeah, things got a little tense there in your reunion, some would say. And hey, look, you didn't mean to have that many magic runes, man. The guy just he tricked you. He put he put something on your body. But yeah, we are going to figure out what is going to happen between these two heroes right now. So, as the two of you lie there, unconscious, unaware of what's going on, you don't know the amount of time that passes before you start to stir. As you stir, you feel yourselves completely unable to move. There's no part of your body, even opening your eyes is like a focused activity. Breakspear, as you become aware of your surroundings, you realize you're on something or some things, and the smell of blood is thick in the air. Your head, the snout of your head lays on a wooden frame or a post, the side of, and then you hear it, the squeaking of a single wheel. You're on a wheelbarrow? In a wheelbarrow. And as you look around the room as best you can tell that you are in the very same understage that you were in when you chased Ricard so many sessions ago. Jin, you, however, don't see these things. As you open your eyes, there's only one thing you can see. The cold, unmoving face of your once friend, Desmond. His facial features calmed, no longer perpetually stuck in some form of violence. His neck snapped, the bones nearly protruding out of his neck. And you realize you don't fully know where or what's going on, but what you do know is that you are at the bottom of what feels like a box, with Desmond on top of you, and what you can only assume is Breakspear on top of him. And you just feel this as you kind of rock back and forth. And then, Jin, I'm going to need you for a good old-fashioned sidebar, because 2 players, half the party isn't enough. I need half of a party.
I knew you were.
As you lay there, staring into the eyes of Desmond, you blink but one time, and as you do, all of a sudden, you're in this room, this bright, vivid, ethereal place. And as you squint, because it's so jarring to the area that you were previously, all of a sudden, Desmond's standing there in front of you. And he looks both better but hollow. Jin, I'm not gonna have long like this. I've projected what of me left I have into your mind. I'm sorry. I should have been better. Jin, I just need you to promise me one thing. I know you trained for it at the Hollow. I know you started down a path, but don't become a monster. And a chill enters this ethereal place, and it begins to dim, the whites turning to a gray, the grays turning into this murky, shadowy black, as you stare directly at what almost can be described as just the stories told 1,000 times of what a Reaper looks like, as this cold, emotionless hand drifts over to Desmond's shoulder. He looks up into the hood of this tall, lanky, dark creature, and the 2 of them disappear. And let's head back to our other situation.
Thank you.
As the wheelbarrow continues to trudge on, you hear, oh god, what am I doing? Oh my god. Oh. No, I just gotta, where do I go? And this continues on for about 10 minutes or so, and you hear the like someone playing with keys as they're like trying to fumble a key into a lock. The lock finally gives, the door creaks open, and the wheelbarrow enters what seems like a room. And then it stops there for a second, and the door closes, and you hear it lock, and you hear the person grab a chair and drag it over to the door and brace it against the door. Oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man. What am I... Oh God, what am I doing? No, it's the right thing to do. It's the right thing to do. You hear muttering around, the person pacing multiple times, almost close enough, Breakspear, for you to be able to, like, see who is speaking, but just not quite. You lay there for what feels like 5 or 10 minutes. Again, so exhausted. You almost feel like breathing is a focused activity when a knock at the door. And the person goes over and they open up a window, you guess, as they look out. Sorry, as they look outside. And the chair gets moved, the door gets unlocked, and you hear, "What in the hell are you calling me? Is that them? Oh, fuck. No, you did the right thing, Mark. Chill out." And you hear, "Oh God, I just couldn't leave them there. No. You're all right. Yeah, let's get this door closed." And the door gets closed again, and it gets locked. And the chair moved back into place. And the wheelbarrow starts to move, and it feels like it moves like one room back into this small house. And they're talking back and forth about what the right thing to do is, how they're gonna like do this, were you followed, yada yada. And that's when there's a knock. This knock feels so perfectly spaced between this 1 wait, 2 wait, 3. And it's almost as if the door reverberates to the touch. And you can hear both of them clam up. Hello? Mark feebly speaks out. And you hear a voice return back. "Is this the guard Mark's house? I do believe I have some business with you." And even though they don't speak, you can tell that Mark and the sergeant are both petrified to open the door. The sergeant moves over into the room that the wheelbarrow is in, and you hear what sounds like curtains closing. The room gets just a little darker. And you hear the front door get opened again, as Mark is like, Mr. LaFour, I didn't expect to see you here." "Oh, did you not? I have to say, I guess I'm a little surprised you're here, as I figured all guards would be, on duty right now. But you're home. Why is that, Mark?" As you can tell, I am on shift. I forgot something here, and I had to come back. Oh, that's very interesting, Mark." And you hear one step in, and you could feel it as the floorboards creak underneath Oakum's feet. This ominous foretelling, the fact that neither one of you can move your bodies. You struggle. You feel like you scream inside your what feels like almost your own cage. And the wheelbarrow lifts up slightly and rolls forward just a touch, only moving when the two speak or move to not draw attention to it. You see, Mr. Don't lay your hand on me, Mark. It's beneath me. You're better than that, aren't you? And you hear what sounds like the back door of this house or cabin being opened. And ever so slightly, ever so slowly, this wheelbarrow is moved inch by inch out this door. And the door, you hear it just as quietly as the sergeant can muster, as he continues to push the wheelbarrow down what sounds like now a dirt path behind the house in the back alleyways of some district in Ambervale. And as the sergeant begins to pick up pace to make distance between this domicile, you hear the curtain get ripped open in the room as Okram goes, "Well, I expect that..." "Where are they, Mark?" And Mark go, "Well, you, Mr. Lefort, you..." And the conversation falls out of range of your hearing. The wheelbarrow moves quickly down the back alleyways. You hear the sergeant breathing deeply as he trudges from, shadow to shadow, best he can, pushing the two of you. He takes a sharp turn, and he goes to what looks like a storm shelter in the back of a building, and he pushes the wheelbarrow to the edge, and he goes, "Sorry, gents, best I can do." And he tilts the wheelbarrow up and pushes the three of you just down this small flight of stairs. And you hear the wheelbarrow get run off before he comes back in, stepping down the stairs around the three of you. And he closes the cellar doors, and he drags each one of you a short way. And as you're laying on the floor, barely able to look around, you see that you must be in some sort of wine cellar adjacent to maybe the internal sewer system. It's maybe a way for the bar to clean out drinks or something. You are still within the limits of Ambervale, to the best of your knowledge. And the sergeant lays you both on your back. He turns Jin's head away from Desmond. The two of you sit shoulder to shoulder, being able to look at each other as the sergeant goes, "I'm going to go get someone that can do some of this healing. I'll be back." And he leaves the cellar. The two of you have drummed up enough strength to be able to speak, but moving still feels impossible.
What the hell was that?
What are you talking about? What do you mean? The whole
Lie. I saw you crunch Desmond's arm like a hammer on an anvil with hot metal. Curled it in a way it shouldn't be able to. And then you came after me like you couldn't even recognize us.
just like the last time with Roscoe. The only thing I remember is right before.
Well, last time you destroyed Moscow. Sorry, Roscoe. This time you killed Desmond. So I'm gonna ask again. What the hell was that?
I don't know what happened when he gave me that after he gave me that power. I just got so juiced up. I don't know. I couldn't control myself. I didn't know.
This ain't the first time it's happened. And it can't just be the stone. Look, I don't know what the hell they did to you in Hermit's Hollow, but you gotta start remembering. Because if something like that happens again, we might not wake up. Or one of us might not wake up.
The cellar door creaks open, and you hear 2 sets of footsteps coming down the staircase. Here they are. I don't know what to do. And this lady pushes past the sergeant to each one of you. She straightens up your heads, and she starts shoving like herbs and seeds and what feels like dirt into both of your mouths. And she like packs it in there to the point where you almost can't close your mouth at all. And she pulls out this liquid, and as she pours it into each of your mouths, it burns. It feels like the hottest thing you've ever had in your mouth, as you feel the ingredients in your mouth break down. As both of you try to spit or gurgle it out, she covers your mouths with these soft silken cloths and forces you to like endure this process as what feels like your mouth begins to like boil itself. And then finally the liquid cools and you feel compelled to drink it down. And as you do, you feel yourselves, your bodies still nowhere near their full strength. If you had to guess, you're maybe at 40%. But your hands, they can move. Your breathing becomes it doesn't have to be a focused chore. You can blink freely. Water returns to your eyes and motion to your bodies. Well, did it work? Only time will tell. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, this is good. This is good. And she like starts like doing like eye tracking tests, and she puts like a damp towel over your foreheads and things like that. And they are not going to be very strong for a while. It will take some time. Perhaps them being heroes might speed this up, but I would not know. Oh, well, at least they should be safe here for a... And outside of the cellar door, you hear... Well, they can't have gotten too far. I'm sure they have to be around here somewhere. I can almost feel it. It's something that's just calling to me. In fact... And you can almost feel that Okram is looking at the door. As the sergeant quickly comes over each one of you, like under your arm, and like helps you to your feet, and is like, "Can you stand?" And each one of you, you hobble and you fall a bit, but you're able to stand. Oh, quick, into the sewers. And the sergeant looks back at the lady who has just helped you. "Come on, you can't be caught here." And she goes, "I will not make it very far very fast in the sewer. Besides, you will need time." And the sergeant like pushes you guys like into the sewer, and you kind of like drift into its like running water. It's about waist high, and you're able to kind of like float in this current. It does seem to be maybe like a channel coming from a more freshwater area. The water here doesn't feel like it is entered the actual sewer itself yet, as you're kind of pushed down just a little bit, and the sergeant gestures to some railings on the side as you hold there mere 10-20 feet from the platform that you were just on. And you hear the cellar door like begin to get opened, and then the doors get like flung aside. Well, you've got to be kidding me. And you hear what sounds like 10 or 15 footsteps down these stairs, And you hear the woman who has helped you go, can I help you? This is not your property. Not my property. What in the... You're lying. Um, the, um, no. Maybe not a lie, but it's not the whole truth. Tell me, what do you know? Nothing. I was here for, wine and you hear, like, a quick motion, and then, and something hit the ground hard. And as you sit there down current, this little trickle of blood runs down the water. Well, that wasn't very much fun. Why'd you go and do that? I wasn't about to sit here and listen to her talk. It's not necessary. And the body is pushed into the running current, and you watch this person who just saved you, who just healed you, their lifeless corpse, drift down the current. I mean, perhaps she could have known something, though. I mean, we have to find them, don't we? I'm sure they have to be close. That's just the way it is. Perhaps they are in the sewer. And you hear, "Oh, Okram! Sasha, there you are. We've been looking all over for you." The voice sounds vaguely familiar. Maybe one of the other security team captains that you had brushed paths with as you guarded the festival. They want all the thespians back to the primary residence. That way we can keep everyone safe. Oh, good. Perfect, yes, of course. You know, safety. And you hear two sets of footsteps going up the stairs. And a magical tinge kind of bounces around the wall. And it drifts through the air into both of your ears. You hear, "You may have been able to elude me for now, but trust me, I will find you. And this little game of cat and mouse is going to come to an end one way or another." But you know, it's delicious, really. I guess if I can't find you, I'll just have to go see someone you care about. I guess I'll just have to go see Violet. How does that sound? Breaker of spears. And you hear the footsteps go up and the doors close. You can tell the other people that came with the two thespians are still around as they begin talking and going like, "I know he didn't say so, but I think we're going to have to go into that water." "I'm not going into no water, not without a drink first." And you hear them like popping open beers and wines that were down in the cellar, and they begin to drink. And the sergeant looks at the both of you. "If you follow this path down the sewers, you're going to find one of the safe houses that we used to use for some of the old VIPs during the wartime of Ambervale. Meet me there. I've got to get back to the service. People are going to notice that I'm gone. Good luck, heroes." And he kind of lets himself drift down to a ladder, and he begins climbing up to the surface, and you hear it and he looks out, he climbs up top, and then it closes. What will we do?
Well, might as well get swimming. Just start doggy paddling my way down.
Slowly let go and just kind of let the current drift for a little while until I think we're out of earshot of the guards, and then start slow breaststrokes, just trying to keep floating, arms beneath the water so it doesn't create a whole bunch of movement. and just kind of quietly glide down. And then occasionally, like, doing the whole paddle thing with my tail.
He's a goddamn Godzilla.
And this is how the rumor of Sewer Gator started.
Yes!
And
I'll try to copy him once I see him doing that. I'm trying to.
Jin's like, I don't have a tail. This is much harder without a tail. But as the two of you drift down the water for a bit, you get to a point where, if you continued going, you would just go right off. Not a massive like waterfall, but it would be like a 10-15 foot drop. Or you can kind of secure yourself to the sides and up onto a small little platform. Which would you choose?
I'm gonna go ahead and get up on a platform.
Might as well get on the platform with him, try and use as much strength to do some like acrobatic like climbing up there to get there.
Both of you are in a weakened state, so we will have you roll for this.
Tiny dice with a 6. With double sixes. That's not great.
No.
And you'll notice that your dice are modified currently to represent your less than 100% self. This dice only goes up to 14. And there are no 20s.
Nice.
With a 6, both of you reach over. In your heads, you're like, okay, I'm good. And you grab onto this railing, and you just feel your hands slide down from the algae. Your claws not quite able to dig in and dig through it as the two of you plummet off this 10-foot drop into the water below. Let's just get another roll for both of you to see how this fall affects you.
Oh god.
It's a 9.
It's a 10.
Both of you are able like to just like kind of like react and get yourselves like together so you're not flailing about, and you plunge into the water. Jin, your feet do touch the bottom like after a short little drop. Like you're fully submerged, but your feet touch the bottom and you're able to prop yourself back up. Breakspear, your feet do not touch the bottom as you are much shorter. But you're able to get to the surface. And as you get to the surface, and it's like this little area where you can tell like more clean water kind of convenes here, and then as it like fills up to a certain point, pushes out and continues kind of like the actual sewer system kind of like moving it. So it like fills and gets a dam and then kind of is used to like flush the internal sewer system of, well, the actual sewer system. And but you are still in the relatively clean water. However, Breakspear, as you come up from the water, there's this extra little trickle of like water coming down, and as you look up, there is what looks like just a person standing there, sword on his belt, just peeing into this water. And he sees you, and he's like, "Oh, I found him! I found him! I found him! I found him!" And you hear people yelling, and you can tell there are multiple people running in this direction based on the echoes.
And we're in the relatively clean, about to go into more relatively dirty water.
Correct. The way forward, as described, like as you land in this, like the straight across one, is into a disgusting looking sewer pipe.
Ugh. I hate it, but I know that Breakspear would take a deep breath.
The only way to go?
And swim.
Is this the only way? Oh. Well, if I want to live, I'm following them in. You had to get seen, didn't you?
It's not my fault. It could have been you too. Don't put that on me.
The two of you begin to swim forward. However, this area, like I said, doesn't directly feed into it. It kind of fills to a certain point. So you get to the wall of this like tank, if you will. And you would either need to try to break through this and get to the other side, or surface and climb over the wall and like fall into the next piping.
What is the wall made out of? Do we know what it is? Can we feel
Um,
it in the?
it feels like a stone and wood kind of thing. Like it's probably not fully either one.
I'm gonna try and bust on through this a little bit. I want to try
All
and
right,
I want to try and add some good water to this nastiness we about to go into.
let's see it. Underwater punch.
6. Hey, that's terrible.
You're able to make a good solid contact with the wall, but it does not break and it does not budge.
I try to feel for a piece of the wood portion and try to punch through that piece of wood.
All right, let's see it.
Please.
Fuck.
That is not a good
That's
one.
a 1.
You're like finding a piece of wood and you punch, and as you punch the wood, you must have been like a splinter or a piece of the wood like jutting off of it, and you feel it slide underneath like the scales of the front of your fist and pop a couple of your scales off and scrape down your arm a little bit.
Yeah, at that point I give up on trying to punch. I'm gonna go over. That hurt.
Perfect. So Breakspear is going to the surface. Jin, what about you?
I want to give it one more of the college try. I want to like grab the edge and kind of like just try to like stomp out some of the wood.
Okay, I dig it. Let's see it.
It's a 12. That's respectable for on a 14 dice.
So you grab it, and you're able to put like your leg through the wood, but it doesn't like fully break or start like a massive cascade or anything. But as you pull your leg out, there is a good hole of water now pushing into that pipe, and like you can tell, like the water motion is beginning. So it's not just stale, stagnant, like water, just
The doo-doo water.
Waste water.
Oh, black water is what they
Ugh.
call that, I believe.
Breakspear, as you surface though, and you like grab the top and begin to like push yourself over. Roll me a perception for Breakspear.
Oh no. Sewer gator in there. Oh, that's great.
It was almost not
Could
great.
have done.
It was almost
As
not
you-
great.
You pull yourself up, and as your like head turns, you see that there's a guy with a crossbow, and he is firing it at you. But you get a reaction because you saw him.
I'm going to just tuck and roll over as quickly as I possibly can to kind of just make myself a little ball and fall into the next disgusting black water bit.
Perfect. Let's get a good old fashioned roll off for our crossbowman and Breakspear.
No! Yeah!
I wouldn't be licking like that inside the sewer.
He's on the clean water side.
The air's got to taste nasty down here.
Oh.
Ain't that about a son of a gun?
Breakspear, you get up to the top of the wall. You try to like tuck and roll, and your tuck and roll is fine. But as your body kind of comes up like that, the underside of like your stomach chest area is what's caught on the reverse end. And let's roll a good old fashioned calamity dice. The higher the number, the better for the party. The lower the number, better for me.
Oh,
11.
right up to 29.
Relatively on the lower side. Breakspear, as you fall, you realize that you're going to fall directly like onto the bolt, onto this like concrete sewer floor. You don't want to push the bolt in further, so you're able to like get your hands out just in time and kind of like stop it from making the impact. However, it kind of forces you to roll a little differently, and you feel yourself slide through this sludgy water. And you just know that this wounded area has touched all of this water.
You got the doo-doo water in your soul now, my boy.
Shut up.
It's a part of you now.
And Jin, right now you are still on the other side of the wall. What are we doing? You are still underwater. Your hands are like touching the top, but that's it.
Do I feel like I could bust through if I did this again? Like I could bust through the part that I've
You
already
feel like it's feasible
busted
for
up?
sure.
I mean, I guess I gonna try again. I'm gonna die.
Racing the cinematic epic where
Oh,
you're always welcome to
no.
try. Let's see it. One more dice. Looking for a decent one. At least a double digit.
Why you say anything?
That's
Can I,
not
can I force another attack?
all right. We're forcing. Now we definitely need the higher end of double digit.
Okay, that's just an 11 though. That's okay dice.
It's better than a 3.
You're
Oh.
able to break another section of the wood. Now, it's not enough to just slip through easily, but you could kind of like pull yourself through. Would you want to do that?
I'm going in like Scuba Steve.
Just to keep it fair, just to keep it consistent, let's get a calamity dice for Jin as well.
Please no, God. Oh!
That was so close.
Shut up, Adam!
So
Stop!
close.
I mean, it's awesome. Good roll, man.
He almost shot me directly in the back and had me fall in the bolt.
As you're gliding through, you feel like part of the structure above the hole you've made like shift hard and like slap down, and you realize that if you were just a couple inches over the side, that whole stone pillar would have just like right through your rib cage, but it didn't. And instead, you take a few scrapes and cuts through this breaking wood kind of area, and water begins to pour. And you've got like a decent steady current moving the other water away from you. But you still need to travel down the way. As again, you hear more people like, "They're in that pipe over there! Yeah, just start shooting!" And like arrows and crossbow bolts are just like hitting the walls and plinking about, but they can't actually see you where you are with the wall above your head. Someone throws a torch and it just kind of like sputter and like lands. It is just like burning harmlessly over the side. And then a bottle lands near the torch. You missed! Well, let me try again! And let's get a dice roll for our would-be thrower of bottles.
I would like to get out of this situation. What is that?
Oh, but a 19 says not before this bottle lands. As a perfectly executed throw, almost the second best it could be, lands directly next to the torch, and this liquid ignites as it goes up, and flames rip through the hole. Both of you like barely out of its range, and the flames and the liquid touch the other broken bottle, and it begin to burn more and more as the other water is like set ablaze with this burning cocktail.
That is some interesting, some water you got there.
Well, again, it's the surface of it, but it still smells.
Yeah, yeah, it's stanking
Gonna
up in
just-
here.
Keep going, I guess. There's no point in sticking around burning water. You got to keep
Yeah,
moving.
doing this Rush
So-
Hour 2 style, high stepping it out of
With the burning through this pipe, you have two options.
Mhm.
Through the flames, some attempt to go up and over the flames, or under.
there.
What is our hero's choice?
I am gonna try and make some kind of acrobatic maneuver over this situation.
I would definitely go over. Probably like dive and then try and shoot myself up and over the next pipe. Don't look at me like that. Stop. We gotta survive. We gotta live.
You gonna have gangrene in your belly.
All right. So we're going to
Yeah,
see
well,
these two
give me the fire
roll.
roll.
Just as a reminder to those watching, These dice can only go up to 14, and all bonuses that a party member would normally have do not apply. So let's see it. Let's see these rolls. Jin trying to go up and over the flames, Breakspear going under the water, and then trying to free willy over it.
I go to the 8. Hey, you got on 12, my boy.
Right.
That's good.
The two of you are able to make it up and over the fire, but to represent all of the crossbow bolts being blindly fired into this, we will roll a calamity dice for each one of you, starting with Breakspear.
Here we go.
Oh, baby. That was almost terrible.
That was real close. But
I hate
not
this.
there.
Oh, I love how lucky you guys are getting. It's awesome. And one for Jin.
Oh, not like this. Oh, it's just above average.
All right, neither one of you have any major issues. Breakspear, you're able to like get up and over the fire. A couple crossbow bolts like slide across your scales, but they don't even like really leave marks, and you're able to splash back down into the water on the opposite side of the fire and continue your momentum forward, so that way the drifting like liquid that is burning doesn't like touch you. Jin, you're able to kind of go up and over, and again you're like accosted by a couple of different like crossbow bolts, some cuts and scrapes along your body, but nothing like really worth noting, as both of you are able to continue down the sewage way. It's about to get quite a bit darker. Is there any actions that either one of you would take as you continue down the pipe?
I contain nothing that can give light, so I will just blindly follow Breakspear forward.
Oh, God. Well, we're going forward with not a lot of haste, because it's dark and neither one of us can see, I think, in the dark.
None of the people that can see in the dark are here.
Nope.
Perfect. As the two of you drift down the this pipe way, would you be trying to like stand on like the side of the pipe so you're not in the water? Imagine the pipe's kind of like a pipe with like a little trough kind of thing going through it. So would you stand in the trough and move down that way, or would you try to like skirt across the sidewall?
I'm in the trough. How much of my body is in the trough?
It's like thigh deep.
Ugh. You gonna find me on them pipes?
Probably we'll both get on the sides on either side to walk down, so that we were both kind of like feeling the opposite
it's safer
side.
for you. Yeah, if you feel the wall, it's like a maze. You know what I mean? You'll make it out eventually.
As you both continue down, there's what you can barely make out. It's a small little platform. You can only make this platform out because there is a figure with a torch standing there, looking back and forth. Jin, he's on your side of the piping. You feel like you could get close enough to strike at him. What would you do?
Yes, I'm gonna move forward, but I also want to as I'm creeping up, I want to see if there's anything at hand, like a rock or something I could grab or anything like that.
Let's
Like a loose
roll a
pipe or
perception.
something.
Let's see if you can feel about for an improvised
right.
weapon.
Oh.
No.
I found
It's
a rat.
just a smooth wall.
Breakspear
You
would
are-
attempt to do. Breakspear would. I'm guessing I can see the guy as well, and the figure.
Yes,
in the dark
he is on the opposite side of the wall that you're on, but yeah.
I would stoop to either find something solid to pick up to throw.
Let's see it.
A little perspective. Nope.
As
You
you're
found the
going
rat.
down, from the glint of the torch, you look and you see a brick, and you put your hand down, and your hand grabs around, and it just squishes through your hand. You have no idea what you just squished in your hand, but it definitely wasn't a brick.
That is so disgusting. I am
try and quietly just like have that moment of, oh god, that was terrible. And then just like try and make certain I steel myself to not say anything and just keep moving forward.
Let's get a will check to see if Breakspear can stay quiet through that.
throw that at him, Breakspear.
I'll let you make the noise you want to make, but as the second you're like, you're like predator sense is kind of like clicking in. You're like, oh, here's the brick. This guy doesn't even know what's gonna happen. And you feel it get underneath, like the where your claws meet, like the flesh and scale of your fingertips, and you just know you're gonna have to sit there and watch and pick this out. And now, like I said, I will let you make whatever noise you want to make in response to that. The person with the torch. Jin, you might be needed. The person with the torch turns over quickly, and he's like, huh! And he grabs for a sword, and he's pulling it out. That's what you see, Jin. Breakspear, you're still looking at your hand right now. This is in that same motion.
I want to move with what swiftness I can and just kick this man into the drink, as it were.
Perfect. You close distance, and I'm going to have you roll a miscellaneous roll real quick.
Oh no!
What?
So still on your 14, yeah.
That's a 9.
It is. We'll say that's good enough. As you close in distance and you're like in distance, just like range to strike, you realize you're looking at a very young person. Like they're not. You wouldn't call them necessarily like a child, but you might refer to them as that. Like to get you maybe young teens.
I will amend the plan to. Let me go ahead and just. I'm gonna splinter cell them. I'm just gonna grab them and just put them to sleep with the old sleeper hold. Just,
All right, let's get a roll off between you and this young gentleman.
Don't be too strapping, young lad. Go to sleep. Go to sleep. Go to sleep.
Oh god.
I can't breathe again. Oh.
So Jin, as you're coming forward, you realize that if you weren't like injured, if you weren't tired, overpowering this person would have been nothing. However, in your slower state, the sword pierces through maybe an inch of your flesh along the side. It doesn't go into your body, but it like flays your skin like a fish. The blade itself is still like rested in your body as you're able to like turn his wrist and push it aside, get behind him, and then choke out this kid. He puts up very little resistances. After all, he is just a young teen. And you lay him, I presume, on the side.
Yeah,
of the
just
little
lay him.
you're on.
I'm gonna try to wherever you would come in. I want him to be out of view of wherever someone might come from. Yeah.
Okay.
Like dragging him over. Hold my little meat flap on.
I go for the kid's torch to try and make certain that the torch doesn't go out in the middle of all that struggle. So that way we have a
you know what? I like that. Let's roll you versus a miscellaneous d20 to see if the torch can be saved. Good idea, Breakspear. Hey, look at that. The torch itself, it like begins to like twirl off the edge, and you're able to reach out and grab it before it touches the filthy water. All right. So with the threat dealt with, do you both continue down the pipe?
I want to see if this gentleman has anything I can use to just wrap up my little meat flap real quick, like take some of his shirt or something.
Yeah, you definitely could
just
take his shirt.
just wrap it up. Okay, I think I'm ready. I'm
Check
turning
his
into a gremlin
pockets.
now.
Check his pockets.
Good.
Make certain he's got nothing else.
Got any meat in your pockets, my friend?
No, he only has what looks like a little like pay pouch from whatever his job is, with just some pocket change in it and some gold.
Just got some money, Breakspear. That's all he's got.
Take it. We're gonna need it.
Doesn't feel right. I throw the money to Breakspear.
I take it, put it in a little pot.
Roll a miscellaneous d20 for Breakspear for having the torch in one hand, catching the bag in the left, and not supporting himself on the side of the pipe.
This man just wants you to fall. Oh.
Breakspear, you are slipping. You are gonna you've lost your footing. You're gonna slip in to like the little troughed area. What would you do?
I know that the trough is thigh height on Jin, so how tall is that on me?
Probably
like
more like
belly.
waist height. Yeah.
Yeah.
Belly waist, yeah.
And how far across is the trough?
4 feet probably.
You could lay out over the whole trough.
Barely.
So gross.
I would rather try and kick off and try and make that short leap to the other side where Jin is. I presume that he and I are not exactly on level with each other.
Yeah. So yeah, let's see it. Little roll for Breakspear trying to jump across the trough and not into it.
Can I stabilize this man as he tries to land?
You would have to. What is happening to him is Breakspear, you bend your knees to jump. As you're about to jump, your legs just kind of go floop and plunge directly into the sewer water, and you're sliding down even more because you've kind of added momentum to that. So Jin, you could, but doing so would mean that you kind of jump off the platform and catch Breakspear.
Sorry. Could I just... Is he in reach for me to just grab the torch out of his hand?
No, because he would be about 4 feet away.
Oh.
You could try to have him toss it.
There's no reason for us to both go in. I'm just gonna watch what happens from here.
All right, Breakspear. Let's get ourselves a good old-fashioned calamity roll, because I love these things, and this is the perfect setting to have them.
He's having too much fun, Ian. He's having too much fun. Oh my god. It's dancing, my boy. It's dancing.
Oh my god!
She's a dancing dice. The dancing girl.
Thank God.
I'm so upset.
Woo! I know you are.
He's trying to get us.
As you plunge into the water about waist height, the reaction of it, because you were going to try to move forward, you're just barely able to keep the coin purse and the torch from going into the muck and mire of it. However, you are submerged up to your waist, which does mean that even more of that delicious water is flooding all around that crossbow bolt wound that is still in your chest.
Delicious and extra nutritious water. Yeah.
I immediately...
Nutrient-rich, bioactive water.
Is the trough deep?
I mean, not that deep. It's a little over waist deep for you, yeah.
I mean, so oh, okay, so it's only waist deep, and I'm already touching the bottom at waist.
Yeah, your feet are now touching.
While he's navigating his current situation, I want to move ahead of the torch so that I'm out of the light, kind of scout ahead. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And I get myself out of the trough.
Not gonna say anything about causing this. Just gonna move on.
As you get out of the trough, it is kind of this awful, like, just noise, as it almost, like, in certain areas is like a bit of a gel, as the water hasn't the running water hasn't caught up to this area yet, so it's still a little coagulated.
This is a septic tank.
Is the sword,
Mhm.
the sword that the kid had? I'm presuming that's the only thing of metal that that's available, or do I still have my teeth?
You have one of them, and
I don't have both.
no. And if you don't remember what you did with the other one, that's,
I
on
gave
you.
it to Jin, and then he gave it back, and then I put it in. Did I not?
I don't remember him giving it back. Was that given back?
I did give it over.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't remember
My
if it was
apologies.
directly to you, but
My
were-
notes then had it wrong. I must have missed that
Okay.
interaction.
'Cause,
Anyway, so
it
yes,
was-
you have
it was
your
quick.
two teeth. You have your two teeth then, and other than that, yeah, it's the sword.
you can get doo-doo water in your teeth, man. Be careful.
Yeah, I just keep going.
Oh, he
for
already
now.
definitely does. I mean, he dove under the water earlier.
Oh, he
I
did.
don't I didn't dive down with an open mouth. Like, ugh.
I imagine you're slightly crocodilian with the fact that your mouth isn't ever truly closed.
You got
I'm
lips,
more
right?
like
You
a
got lips?
Dragon. I thought I was more like dragon-esque, and dragons always have like actual mouths, not like
Well, it
lipless
depends on the dragon lore, I guess.
grins.
I will now decree that dragons don't always have lips in this universe.
This
I hope
Dracula.
on this style that has. All right, but moving forward, after getting out,
So do you grab the sword?
is it how big is it compared to me? Is it like too big?
Oh
for
no,
me to use
it's
one-handed?
actually a decent sized sword for you because the small teen was about your size.
Cool. I'm taking it and leaving it behind.
Perfect.
Oh, he's gonna get reprimanded.
I don't care. Sucks to suck.
I don't care.
You both continue down the piping, and you hear as you're going down. Jin, are you staying ahead of the torch enough to not be in the light? I believe you said.
Yeah. I want to be able to see what's coming before the light reaches them. You know what I mean?
You hear down like a slight bend. So just before Breakspear has like moved into this bend, and you hear like 2, maybe 3 people sloshing through the like the middle area of the pipe, and you hear, "This would be a lot better if you didn't drop the torch." Shut up! It's so slippery down here. Can you guys wait up? I don't really want to be back here alone. I can't see anything.
All right. Well,
And you know if Breakspear comes too much closer, the illumination of the torch will flicker down to their like they'll be able to see it.
I'm gonna scooch on back so that Breakspear can see me and like motion the stop hand.
Breakspear, do you stop?
I stop and I kind of look at him.
I go like this.
At that motion, I drop the torch into the trough to extinguish it.
It smells awful, but the torch is extinguished.
I close my eyes before I do so, and then slowly open them afterwards.
You hear the sloshing getting closer and closer to you.
And it's dark down here, right? Like you can't see.
Yes, it is. It is very dark. It's like maybe like you could maybe glint out like a silhouette of something if they were like within 5 feet.
I hang out where we are standing quietly, but I would once again like to look around for something hard to grab that is loose and is not a turd.
Let's
Before,
find out.
bef-
Oh,
darn. Hey.
Hey!
you pat around the walls, and you find like a brick, and you have to sink your fingers a little into the gross water, but it's a brick, and you're able to pull it out from the side. So you've got yourself a sewer water brick.
Sewer water break, baby. I'm just gonna hang out there for a second.
I'm just gonna hang out, kind of trying as best as I can to move silently for a little bit, and then hang out, stock still, unlit torch in one hand, the sword that I took from the teen in the other, and just kind of wait.
You hear as they continue to slosh their way through the muck and mire that whoever's in the front has probably a sword, maybe an axe, but you hear it just like ting ting tang tang ting ting tang tang as they're clearly using it as almost like a blind stick, and they're tapping either side of the wall as they continue moving down.
I would like to take my rock, my brick,
Mhm.
and I want to throw it in the drink where we came from, like farther down. Just like trying to make them make a noise. You know what I'm saying?
You don't need a roll for that. um, you hear this and all three of them, they like pause for a second, and they're like, what was that? Do you think it's the thing we're supposed to get? What were their names again? All right, let's just go. And their pace begins to pick up. Ting 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 from the front person. There may be 4 to 6 feet away from either one of you. You are on either side of the pipe.
Is there anything like overhead, like a pipe overhead that you could like grab onto or anything like that?
No.
Dang.
I will take the
3 to 5 feet away.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna take the sword that I have from the kid and toss it down the hallway behind us as well.
Okay. Tang 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 tang.
Ugh.
And you hear them, they're like, okay, and they like embolden themselves and they start trudging faster. And again, you hear the ting, 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 ting of the like kind of the blind stick as they are 2 to 4 feet, then 1 to 3 feet away from you. Are you attempting just to let them go past?
Yes.
Yes.
Trying to press myself against as far as I can against the wall and kind of start slowly sliding towards the way that they are coming from.
Yeah. The old shimmy pass maneuver.
Mm-hmm.
I need a calamity.
And just wants us to get our legs chopped off, man. Ho-ho!
As he uses his sword as a guide through Breakspear, as you're doing this, the sword hits the wall at neck height for you. And then as he's pulling the blade back, you feel the tip of it just kind of lightly touch the sides of your scales, leaving not even a scratch. And then Jin, for you, as you're like moving down the wall like this, right in between your thighs, bang, the sword clicks. And then so gently as to not even cut the clothes you're wearing, the sword is pulled out between your legs perfectly as the three of them
That is
through
so
the
disgusting.
trench. And the two of you can continue on.
Slide on down.
And slide on past. Keeping the, unfortunately, unlit torch with me.
The doo-doo torch.
As you both continue down the way for a bit, there is like what you presume the ladder that that group came down, and then the only other thing is the pipe continues for a little bit longer, and then it's just a hard dead end.
I go towards
Okay.
the hard dead end.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
All right, you both get there.
Gonna start to feel around at like the edges or anywhere, because the sergeant said that there is a safe house, a VIP safe house, and I figured this has got to be somewhere close by. So I start feeling for like a pressure plate to push or something.
Yeah.
With that exposition, we will have both of you roll a perception check. And Breakspear, despite the setting of our current setting, we will have Breakspear roll on his D20 for this. So D14 for Jin still, D20 for Breakspear.
So
Oh, thank goodness you. I was gonna say thank goodness.
Oh I was so scared.
Yeah, that could have been something just now.
And Jin, you're just sitting there like, he's doing this, so I guess I'll do this too. And Breakspear, you're able to find a brick that feels like loose. It doesn't push in, but it pulls out. And as you pull it out, you can tell it's on like a little rod of some sort, and it turns.
I turn it a little bit and try and see if I can push it back in after like my guess. All right, so I keep on turning the brick, and as it turns, I'm trying to see if it fits flushly into the wall, kind of like a pull out then push in. I'm trying to find the right position so that way it pushes flush into the wall.
So it only turns to 90, and then 90 it's too long, but when you have it at 90 and you like fiddle with it, it feels like the whole wall could move like a door.
Then I turn to Jin and be like, "Hey, help me pull this." And I kind of like try and feel out for him in the dark to try and help guide his hand to it as with me, and then we both pull together.
As you pull and pull and pull, it just won't budge.
I'm gonna feel around to see if I can find anything else similar to what he's holding. Another brick like that or something like that.
You're patting the wall. You're patting the wall. Let's get a miscellaneous dice roll for Jin here. You're patting. You're patting. You're patting.
Okay.
I don't know, man. I just can't find it.
All right, if it's not gonna come towards us, maybe we have to push into it.
Try pushing into the door now.
It opens.
Thank God.
Hey. Hey.
As the door opens, you're able to both go through, and like the sewage water itself like stops, like it doesn't flow into the door as it opens, and you're able to like move past it, close the door, and you are in a safe house. There's a small shower area, a little kitchenette, like a whole bunch of stuff like that. You can tell most of this probably hasn't been used in a very, very long time, but you are here nonetheless. But before we continue on, we're going to take our 5-minute break, and the story will continue very soon. We'll be
All right.
right back.
Right back.
Hey.
And welcome back. I am still Adam, your game master. And we've had a little bit of a gross session. It hasn't been the cleanest of shows, if you will. As the party on multiple occasions have barely escaped the direct attention of Ogrim, who has been searching for them. But they were able to make it through the sewer system with only a few cuts, bruises, and one crossbow bolt to the chest, and a slight, fish fillet, if you will, for Jin's side. Narrowly avoiding the most recent set of guards, they have made it to the safe house and are now inside, where a small shower, kitchenette, and some sleeping apparel was described, and the place looks like it has not been used in years. Let's jump right back in.
Oh, okay. Breakspear, I think you should go in there and wash out that. You should wash that out.
Yeah, I'll do it first. See if you can start a fire in here. Or
The
do we have
room
light
has torches that, as you enter it, go and light up.
Fancy.
Phenomenal.
In this light, Breakspear, you can tell that your right hand is just covered in some form of feces. It's underneath your
form.
It's underneath your scales. It's in your fingernails. It's in the bed of your claws.
That's like having to clean feces out of a keyboard. It's under his scales. That's what you just gave me. That's what he's doing. Get in there, Breakspear. There's a brush in there, I'm sure.
Oh my goodness! I was not expecting keyboard to be the word, and the vision I got was woof. All right, Breakspear, how are we dealing with this?
Gonna start with the extremities to clean, from the outside in, trying not to let any of the disgusting filth of the sewers hit any part that's tender or open or wounded, and starting first with my hands, so that way I can start.
And how are we doing this?
I'm hoping that going into the bathing area, is there a way to turn on water or gather water?
Yes, there's a way to turn on water. You do that?
Yes.
You want some help in there, Breakspear?
Is there any bucket? Is there a bucket close by?
It looks like some sort of for lack of a better word, shower kind of base system. It's a pressurized water will be pushed through a pipe using what at a glance looks like some sort of magic.
Okay. And are there please tell me there's a brush or a loofah, anything in here.
No, but there are napkins and towels and stuff like that in the kitchenette area.
Is there a linen closet around here? Or something
Also, just because I realize I'd only described Breakspear's hand. Breakspear, your whole waist is this way, from the waist down.
Yeah.
And from when you when you did your little free willy moment, even the upper torso area of you is caked and covered.
You are disgusting. You're a poop dragon.
Okay. Son of a gun, I hate you. All right. So first, I've got to clean the area around the crossbow bolt, because I'm presuming that crossbow bolt is still in me.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to clean the immediate area around there. I'm then gonna have.
And so you've turned on the water?
Yes.
Okay. As you turn on the water, it is this loud screeching, like you hear water start to like trickle somewhere else, and it's like there's like as like the pipe like starts to like rattle and shake, and then it's this awful like, and then water starts to like get like forcibly shot out of this, and this like, and it is like absurdly cold.
Got a nice cold shower, boy.
Okay. I go over to one of the. I really hope I know this. The pipe is metal, correct?
Yes.
I go over to one of the torches and held the torch up to the end of the faucet spigot in the hopes to attempt to kind of heat both the spigot and the water in the spigot.
You grab a torch, and as you pull it off of its like little mounting, the torch goes and unlights.
Cool. I put it back into its mounting, and then I take the
And
wooden
it
torch.
relights.
Take the wooden torch that I stole off the kid, and I hold it up to try and light it on fire.
Let's roll a calamity for how submerged
God.
that got, and is it still in a workable condition? This won't have too much. Can't go too wrong.
Doo-doo torch. I would have loved if you rolled a 1 on this one.
Don't put that bad juju out there, my dude.
Because just right after I said it couldn't have gone too bad, rolls a 1. It would have been hilarious.
I know. 15s is right in that middle area where now I just have to make a decision that I'm letting the dice do it for me. Under the same magic identity of the torch, when it gets pulled off the wall, it unlights as you put it back in. It lights, and you hold your torch up to it, and the flames coming off of this magical torch don't even seem to interact with your torch as you like hold it over it, and it just like the flame is like flickering over it. You would almost assume that these like torches on the wall are really just magic light sources that have been flavored to look like torches.
Cool.
Do you need help in there, Breakspear?
Meanwhile, the water is still running in that other area.
I just go back and I start doing what I have to do with cold water. Cleaning the area around the crossbow bolt, and then, well, I can't even cauterize the wound, so...
As you get back to that room, you can see that little like frost crystals are like building up on like the sides of the room because the water is so cold that if it was not magically propelled out, the water probably would have frozen and not be like coming out. It is peculiar that the water is anywhere in Ambervale is this cold though, as the temperature outside would not suggest this be possible.
All right. I turn it off. I start using some of the crystals on the side to kind of like start scrubbing myself down, using their hard nature to be able to get into all the cracks and crevices of my scales so that way I can clean myself up.
Sure. While he is doing this, Jin, is there anything that you would be doing?
Guess. There's only one shower in the said bathroom, right? Only one said such shower?
Correct.
I guess I'm just gonna secure the area and wait, not touching anything for my turn to go in there. Just stand and just...
Breakspear, it takes you quite a bit of time. You have to turn the shower back on a few times, and each time you do, it's still just as cold. Cleaning yourself is miserable, as you're able to like scrub down and get everything done. However, you do hit a point where cleaning the undersides of the scales on your back is almost impossible.
Breakspear. Breakspear.
What do you
You're
do?
saying that you mentioned that the frost crystals are forming along the edge of the whole
Of the room,
shower
yeah.
area. I turn it on, let it run for a little bit until it builds up a nice little bed of it on the side, and then I start scratching my back like
a
Baloo
bear?
from Jungle Book,
Yeah.
and do that action to be able to get my back.
Let's roll. I mean, it is the calamity dice, but there is no calamity affected other than failure, I guess. For Breakspear, and just in this improvised cleaning process, how clean is Breakspear able to get himself? 30 being really clean, 1 being the hard to reach places were just a bit too hard to reach.
Wow. I know it didn't explode. I know it didn't explode. You dirty, dirty mofo.
So it's dirty. And so
He's
get
a
out.
dirty one.
As Breakspear leaves the shower area, Jin, you can tell he is frustrated. He is angry. And he walks out, and he is considerably cleaner. Like, he looks like his regular self, but as he walks by you, you're like, oh, that still smells like out there quite a bit.
Stinky, boy.
And you may now do your cleaning. Cleaning yourself off, Jin, is much simpler and requires 0 rolls, because you don't have scales all over your body.
Hey.
Hey, look, there's a plus side to arrows and crossbow bolts skimming across your scales doing no damage. The downside is things getting under scales. That's like a whole issue for like any reptile owner that has a reptile that has scales, or lizard, I guess. They're not all reptiles. They're going, man, look at this guy. Look at this this GM. He's thinking about these things. These are the kind of things I have to worry about. Stuff getting under scales. And that one person appreciates this whole segment. Maybe not its content matter, but the general principle. Anyway.
My boy needs a can of air. That's what he needs in his life right now.
Either that or he needs a friend to scrub his back.
I offered. Somebody was like, quiet. And didn't say nothing.
As the two of you get yourself cleaned up, you're not 100% sure on the time in the room, but you definitely know it's been over 15 minutes, and then over 30, and then an hour, and there's no sign of the sergeant at all. And that little thought just trickles through your head again, Breakspear. I'll just go see someone that you do care about. Maybe I'll pay a visit to Violet.
Have we eaten during this time period in which we're waiting?
With what you can, yes. Like the food in the kitchenette has been abandoned for quite some time, so you only eat things that you feel like could stand the test of time, which there was a decent amount of, being a safe house, but it wasn't enough to make you feel like, yes, I am totally full, but you're far from like starving. And both of you would probably about 50-60% of your maximum potential. You will still be on your D14s.
Any meat that Breakspear did not want to eat.
Yes, there was some moldy like storage meat.
Oh my god. You're about to try and eat the spoiled version of this world's Spam?
Jin's gonna cut off the moldy parts to enjoy the rest of it.
You cut off some of the moldy part to reveal more moldy part. What would Jin do?
He keeps cutting off more. It just mold all the way down.
It's just a brick of mold.
It is. You cut off probably
It's like
about
we need to get
40...
dry aged steak.
Yeah, 40-50% of the mass, but you get down to what can only be described as some sort of aged jerky. He just eats it up.
I take a round 2 at cleaning myself off after like an hour because I can still feel it on my back, but this time I'm like,
Jin, I need your help.
I go and I'm looking for like go grab a teaspoon from inside the kitchen. And I'm just
With assistance, it takes some time, but you are able to get Breakspear all cleaned up.
oh thank God. Obviously I get rid of the poncho that I was wearing. I am never wearing that thing again. I take the the sleeping clothes that they had left there, and I make like if it's like a shirt, I will totally like Winnie the Pooh or like small child and dad shirt, just kind of like wrap it around me to just have something to wear.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I then turn to Jin and go,
We can't wait here. We don't know if he's coming back. And we don't know if he gets caught, if he'll reveal this location.
I if you say so, okay.
I
I was
think
thinking
we
maybe
have
we
to
could rest,
find...
but
I want to find Violet. You don't have to come with me.
There's nothing else for me to do but come with you. We already. I lost my closest friend, and I don't even remember what happened. And it was my own hand. I guess the best thing I could do now is just help you. If Violet's still alive, we might as well try to save her.
Well... we should see what friends we have up on the surface. If we have any left.
Surface dwellers.
Let's hope that, Okram didn't just dispense with Mark.
All right, so the two of us are going to head to the surface, it sounds like. How would we do so?
Is there like a different way out of this safe house, or is it one way in, one way
There
out? Kind
does
of deal?
appear to be a staircase. You don't know where it goes.
Does it go up though?
It goes up, yes. It goes up like it's like a spiral staircase. It goes up a few times, and then there is a wooden and stone door.
Well, I trust this more than a city street, so...
go up to the wooden door, up the spiral staircase to the wooden door, and kind of see if the handle works or if it just snaps off in the hand.
It turns, and it turns as if it is a brand new doorknob. Like it has no resistance, even slightly, and it turns silently.
Is it a push or pull door?
Pull.
Slowly kind of pull it, and I'm peeking into the room as soon as I can to kind of be like, is there anybody on the other side of the room? Try and take a peek first before we just, throw the door open.
It appears to be opening into that side of the city seldom used that led up to the Shattered Pantheon, where the meat vendor often waited for Jin so that he had to pay real money and not fare tickets.
Would recommend.
Is there anybody out on the street?
None that you see.
Okay. Looking both ways, I kind of fully come out. I'm looking, and I'm like,
It seems clear. Let's go.
The thing you
sneaking.
the thing you would notice is that the side of the door that you're holding is a door. The opposite side of the door is just like the stone wall of a building, like the side of a building.
Ain't that something? Oh. You said I'm wearing, or I said I'm wearing the sleepwear, even if I look like a little kid in Dad's, pajama shirt. I tear the sleeve off and stick it in the crack of the door, and then close the door shut behind us, so the cloth is sticking out, like down at the bottom edge. That way we can kind of
Identify
it before
get you.
scampering off into the, I don't know, wee hours of the morning.
So, you know that where you are, if you wanted to both check on Mark and make it to Violet, you would have to go opposite directions.
Is checking in on Mark also take us close to our house?
No. Neither one of these takes you close to your residence.
Gotcha.
Feel like we should might be better to go see about Mark first, because if we're gonna go and try to help Violet, we're gonna need any help we can get.
Presuming that Mark's still alive. But I get your point. Even if he's dead, he might have something in his place that we can use. Let's go.
I mean, I wasn't saying all that, but okay. It's good.
Start creeping off towards Mark's house.
As a
you,
sociopath.
Right?
I call that surviving. Thank you very much.
This is a pragmatist.
We are considered probably fugitives.
As you get closer to the edge of as you get closer to the edge of the like that kind of unused side of the city, the liveliness of Ambervale picks back up again as there's people running around with spears and swords, and it doesn't seem like there's a real identity of what everyone's looking for, but everyone is very clearly like about in quite of a hustle and bustle. There's like a little alarm bells and stuff like that still going off, much less cheery than the depiction currently, but like the general streets are the same. And it is still the same night that you were on your guard duty.
Never mind. Yeah, it's onwards and upwards.
Trying to get back to Mark's house, kind of using the alleyways that we felt we were being used to try and get to Mark's house by the back door.
Sure. Let's roll a stealth check for both of you on your D14s, because you're still not 100%.
Hey,
that's well,
pretty good.
You're able to slink about in the shadows, avoiding direct confrontation with anyone, and not having to even talk your way out of the situation, as the people seem a little distracted in their fervor. You make it to Mark's house.
I figure I kind of look.
I guess. Should we knock, or do you just want to try going in?
Are there any windows we could look through on his house?
Yes, but his windows are covered currently from the inside, like curtains.
Yeah. Maybe we should just try the back door?
Yeah.
Because I'm just concerned, what if they have someone waiting here?
I am too, but we gotta know if Mark's okay. And if he's not, I hate to say it, but he's probably got some food and water inside. We could use anything right now.
The meat, yeah.
Maybe even, and some extra clothes. I don't know how far I can get with just,
I kind of point at the sleepwear shirt, kind of like.
All right, well, I'm gonna creep on up to the back door, like I'm a burglar.
All right, the two of you get to the back door, and as you apply pressure on it, it does open. The house appears empty.
Just gonna slowly move in, low to the ground, checking corners and stuff. Just slowly move inside. And
As you, sorry.
I was
I
gonna
thought
say,
we
well,
killed.
I was just gonna motion to him once I get inside a little bit. Motion back to him, come in.
And as I get in, I kind of slowly close the door behind me, leaving it
Perfect.
cracked so it's not fully closed, but enough that we can grab it and throw it and run.
As you get in, there's an eerie calm in the room. And then a numbness, a chill, a weight. Jin, you've felt this exact feeling before. When you were in the wheelbarrow, when you had your moment, your vision, your conversation. That same exact feeling feels heavy in the air around the room.
I think someone might have died here. I don't know. I'm just gonna slowly creep up.
well, it was either Mark or someone else. But it's most likely Mark. So we might as well check.
Perceptions for both of them.
Oh no. 11. That's decent.
Breakspear, you're looking around, and then you see Mark's wardrobe area, and you get distracted, and you're like, oh, "This is a vest. I could use a vest." And you're preparing a little ensemble for yourself. Jin,
Looting this man.
it's super subtle, but once you notice it, it feels like it roars out in your mind. Just a chair slightly askew, a weird-looking scuff across the floor, dust unsettled on objects that feel like they haven't been touched. There was a struggle here. A short one, but there was a struggle.
No, Breakspear. Looking around here, it looks like Mark put up a fight or something. The way everything's moved about. You see that scratch over there?
Yeah. I mean, I kind of figured Mark wasn't going to die quietly.
Is there more to the house than this room?
No, it's just the one. It's like the entrance and kind of like a kitchen area, and where he kept his personal stuff, and then a little curtain door into another room where it was his bedroom fireplace, and that's the whole house.
Okay.
Is there anything food items?
Yeah, you had food. There's bananas and apples and breads, some sort of custard and a pie, but strangely no meat.
I kind of make a haversack of shack of all the transportable food, the bananas, leave the pie, and kind of put that on my back. Like, okay, here's some food. When the next time we're going to see some is, we might as well snag what we can here.
Perfect.
I look at Jin and kind of like, I think it's time we get out of here. Mark's not here, and if he's alive, he's staying away from here. We should move on.
All right. I want to get some extra clothes so that I don't look like Jin. Just put a disguise on, just put extra clothes on. No one's ever seen me wear this much clothes before.
And let's get one last perception check for the two of you.
Oh no. That's a 13. That's a 1.
In the same way, it's almost role reverse. Jin, you're like, oh, clothes, and now you're rifling through all of Mark's stuff, and don't see anything. Breakspear, as you turn and you're kind of like, all right, I'll get to the back door. The tiniest bit of moonlight through the window is casting a little glow across the floor, and as you turn your head, your draconic want for shiny things kicks in, and you see just the finest little crystalline dust lying across the floor. It's not a lot of it. It's maybe a couple of crumbs, but it's definitely there.
I pick up the crystalline dust and kind of... Can I appraise it?
Yes.
Oh, that's right. I don't get a...
You have the thought that you're like, this is definitely something I should keep, but you can tell as you're trying to like get your wits about you and like dive into like your understanding of like arcane things and gems and crystals that you just are like, I don't have the energy to like think into all of this right now.
Okay. I grab... Does he have a bottle close by, or like any sort of?
Yes.
Even
he has little corked bottles.
I take one and I put the crystal in the cork bottle, as long as that bottle is empty.
Yes, it is. It is an empty bottle, and again, this is like a grain of sand kind of thing. Like it is tiny. It is small, but it's just like a couple of little grains of sand.
I take as many as I can. I put it in a vial. I close it tight, and I hold on to it because that's something, and I don't know what it is, but I'm gonna figure out. Just
Perfect.
Maybe not right now.
All right. So, do we head on out
Through the back door, same way we came in.
As the two of you make your way through the cities, through the alleys, and off to Violet's estate. The trickiest part was getting through like the city itself, but now having dressed up differently, you're able to slip through unnoticed. The harder part, though, is when you make it to the more protected district. You slip through the uninhabited area towards the Shattered Pantheon, and you are on the edge of where the nobles are staying, where the thespians are staying, where Violet is staying. But a few houses down from Okram and the rest of the thespians. What do we do?
Now that we're back on this side, our quarters is somewhere in the same district, right?
No, you are like another district over.
Trying to use the back alleyways still. I would like to try and use the back alleyways to get to Violet. Ignore Okram, ignore the thespians there. Just focus on getting to Violet is my mindset. And
We can't do anything alone. We're not strong enough to take on the guards and the thespians themselves. We have to sneak in, see what we can find out, and sneak out.
The thing is, probably expecting us to come here. That's why he did that.
I know. It's why you're gonna stay on the outside. And if I can get in and talk to Violet, if I get caught...
This. Maybe we should change the plan. Maybe we should try to in the Oakram's room. It look around, expecting us to go after Violet, but maybe we could find something out about him that'll give us the edge.
He's just, what, gonna keep a diary in his room? Here are all the ways I'm gonna be a real bastard.
Never know with people like Oakram. I feel like the whole point of being a bard is to have your history known. He probably does have a diary written down with all of his thoughts, and where he monologues about himself and gets to up himself like, I'm such a smart, and no one's as smart as me.
I doubt that he writes it himself. I imagine he has, I don't know, somebody else write it for him.
So there's probably a diary written by somebody quoting Oakram saying, nobody's as smart as me.
I doubt that's close to him. Every single move he's made so far has been calculated. That end, we'd be trying to probably break past Aegis and the King's Guard now.
That's very true. I didn't think about that. I think if he looked at me, I think I would die right now.
I'm pretty certain that they could kill us one-handed. But he said he wanted to go, and when we were in that sewer, the guard said that all the thespians have to go back to the house.
True.
She's not a thespian. She wouldn't be in their house. But Oakram, Bash, Zill, they all will be in the house. And I don't feel like trying to sneak in under their noses.
Okay. I'll follow you.
That's why I think Violet might be our best bet.
All right. So we're going for Violet?
Yes, I'm supposed to be the lookout outside.
The two of you are able to get past the alleyways and stuff. This district seems a little calmer than the other ones. People aren't like running about. As you get to her house, there is a second floor balcony, and there is a back door. There's a guard at the back door. There are two at the front door, and there are no windows on the bottom floor that look accessible.
So at the corners of the house, not closest to the guard, going to the flat up side of the house on either side of, like, if you're facing the house, you know that there's two. At the back of the house, there's one. So on the side of the house, I was gonna try and start looking for like some way to climb up to the second floor.
Okay. Yeah, there's like, I mean, you could probably dig into the siding of like the wood panels and stuff like that. Hop from wood panel to wood panel.
With that, so is there a good way to climb up to the balcony out of sight of the guard as well, or no?
It is maybe not the easiest thing to do, and if you make too much noise scraping into the wood, you draw attention to it.
Any buildings nearby within jumping distance of the balcony / where we're going?
It would be about a 15-20 foot jump, but I mean technically, yeah, there's that is the closest building.
are quite diminished. I don't know if that's a good idea right now. That's a good old thump and roll, and then they're like, "Hey, what's that?" Come in type situation. And so you said there's one guard downstairs guarding the door.
With the back
That's
guarding
all
the
we
side,
see
and then
so far?
two guarding the front.
There's 2 guards on the front of the house guarding the front door.
I think our best bet is to climb up the side where neither of the guards are looking. Can look through the window, hopefully, and get in.
Okay.
If you boost me up, I can try and tie something together to toss out the window for you to climb up with.
All right. Sounds like you've done this before. I get ready to boost him up.
Yeah, you have no idea.
All right. Let's get a little team roll. Getting Breakspear to the balcony.
Doing this again, Rush Hour 2 style.
Woo!
That's a pretty good
There
roll
we
from
go.
you.
All we needed. Jin lifting Breakspear and giving him a little like kind of boost is easy because of his size and frame. And Breakspear, once you're able to grab just directly onto the balcony, you're able to scurry up to the top with no effort.
I start looking at the window itself. Does it look like I can get
The
through
window,
it? Is there...
the window is like a door. It's like a doored window.
Okay.
Or window to door, I guess. And as you touch it, it just swings open.
I get low.
You can come on in, Breakspear. You don't need to wait.
I poke my head in to see, because that's Violet's voice, and I'm like,
Violet?
Yeah. Hi. What's up? And we're gonna pull Breakspear into a sidebar.
I'm scared.
I wasn't expecting to see you.
Are you okay?
I immediately kind of rush in, kind of right next to, like,
Are you okay? You're safe.
What are you talking about? Yeah, there's guards here and everything. I guess something's happening in the city, but I wouldn't know because I've been here. Actually, well, I wasn't here when the guards first came. I was out in the city and I was just kind of
Violet.
shopping and stuff. But what?
Indigo. Do you know?
Yeah, what about her? What are you talking about?
I take hold of her hand and be like,
You need to sit down.
Breakspear, what are you talking about? You're not saying what you're talking about, and right now I'm listening to the words you're saying, but you're not saying a lot of words, and you should be saying more words because you're making me worried, and I don't understand what you're talking about.
Indigo was killed.
Indigo was killed? By who, Breakspear?
I think it was Desmond. But I think he did it under somebody else's orders. I couldn't figure out if he did it under somebody else's orders before he was killed.
Huh. Who would do that? Who would do that, Breakspear? Who would want my sister dead?
I'm not certain. But Indigo sent me a letter. And it was her emotions, not her words. And one of them was betrayal. I worry that it was Oakham. But I have no proof.
Her hand tightens around yours. And then it releases. He said he was going to wait. He said I got to be there.
You knew.
You hear footsteps coming up the stairs of the house. Breakspear, of course I knew. Breakspear, this is my moment for the spotlight. Everyone always cared about little old Indigo. She couldn't even speak, Breakspear. And yet everyone always wanted her to be a star.
I guess it's too bad that the one who has so much to say says nothing of importance.
On that note, I turn and run out the window that I came in and just leap off and down back to...
Let's rejoin the party, and once we rejoin the party, we're going to have Violet's roll versus your roll out your run jump out the window.
Yep.
Let's see a good old-fashioned roll for our assailant and for Breakspear.
No, what's going on?
Oh,
What the
no.
hell's happening here?
Oh, come on. Jin, you're down in the bushes. You're like, what is going on? And you see Breakspear like run, and his hand gets on the banister, and he's like beginning to jump over it with these like arcane waves come flying out. Windows get shattered. One hits Breakspear in the back. He goes flying 10 feet, slaps into the building like adjacent to this one, and then like falls down into the garden that you're in. Let's roll a fort check for Breakspear.
Ooh, baby.
Breakspear, you're able, like, I mean, you're feeling really out of it. You're back to like probably 40% of like your peak condition, but you're able to like force yourself to get up. As Jin, you see Violet walk to the edge of the balcony, and then her hands light up purple again, and she begins to fling magic arcs down towards the both of you.
Let's go. I'm gonna go ahead and try to get us
Start
up out
running.
of here. Yep.
Get up as quick as I can and
Perfect.
start running.
Let's see both of you. Let's see rolls for both of you, and then a roll for her attack at the two of you.
Oh, that's terrible on my part.
Oh, the 14.
That's good.
That's a 19.
Oh.
That's bad.
Jin, you're able to like get up, you start to run, and you see it coming in, and you're able to like get a block up as the magic arcane like slaps into you, and you slap into the ground, and you kind of are able to like roll and dust yourself up, and you're like your arm is like sore and red, and it's like bleeding a little bit from the impact, but you're still going. Breakspear, however, is like scrambling to get up out of the garden and like running, and he just gets hit in the back again, and he slaps down hard into the ground, and he slides, and we're going to need another fort check from Breakspear.
Above average. That's average. On a 14.
Breakspear
Average.
is a little slow to get up. He forces himself up and kind of onto his feet as he continues to move, but Breakspear has taken a beating now and is even worse off than he was before. So for the remainder of rolls, Breakspear has a -2 in addition to his D14. The two of you continue on, and Violet starts going, "Oh my god! They attacked me! Those men over there! Those two! Please! Guards! Those ones there!" And, like, the guards at the front of the house both, like, look over and, like, start running after you, and guards from, like, different posts are all, like, turning and running at you. And where are we running to?
Back to the Broken Pantheon.
Perfect.
First towards Mark's house, then towards the Pantheon. Or is that
So
like
the
two
Pantheon.
very separate?
So yeah, like that would be like running. Oh, like you're either running around the Pantheon to Mark's house, or you're running through the Pantheon to Mark's house.
Running through the Pantheon, acting like we're gonna go to Mark's house.
Okay. But first, one of the guards pulls out his good old-fashioned trusty crossbow, and he's gonna fire a shot out. And this guard is gonna fire at Breakspear because he sees Breakspear that the like on the ground getting up is an easier shot in his mind, so he's going to take that shot. Breakspear, what's your reaction to him pulling up his crossbow to give you the old plink?
This is gonna sound so stupid. I'm gonna take an apple out of the bag and chuck it at him.
Let's get a roll off. And we're gonna roll Breakspear on a D12. That way, it's simpler than a 14 minus 2, and we'll roll the guard on a normal one. But let's see this ranged roll off.
Ugh. Yeah.
Wowzers.
Oh, this is gonna be so bad.
Can I heroically intervene to protect my boy?
It depends.
I will allow a forced action.
I might die. It might not be
Man.
the best bet.
I see this fool. He's obviously delirious, throwing apples at crossbow bolts. I'm gonna try to just tackle him out the way.
All right, let's see this forced action from Jin.
A 5. Oh!
Jin, I'm going to give you a choice. You know, as you're running and you're like trying to get over to Breakspear, you're not going to make it in time to get him out of the way. So you can either take the 20 or let Breakspear take the 20.
Get down, Mr. President. I'm getting in the way.
Bro.
You jump this Breakspear. You like throw this apple out at the guard. It doesn't even make it remotely near him as the crossbow bolt is in the air, and you see the glint, and you just have this moment where you're like, that is gonna hit me in the head. I should move. But that paralyzed moment of indecision where Jin gets in front of you and the crossbow bolt comes through the center of his torso.
Oh.
Jin, roll me a fort check.
Oh. Now let's see. 5. That was almost a 1. Oh boy. My chest hurts.
Jin kind of like he's not like down and out, but you do collapse kind of like onto Breakspear, and you guys are like shoulder and shoulder, like hobbling down the street towards the broken Pantheon. Jin, you will now also be at the same -2 as Breakspear. The two of you are making your way to the best of your abilities through the alleyways, through the corners and things like that. And you can tell the guards aren't as experienced in this district. Breakspear, looks like you have a thought.
I am looking for the sleeve of the shirt that I stuck in the door frame of the safe. The safe house that we left, because I did that before we were gone.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking for that rag.
So we'll have both of you. Roll for this. Let's see if in the heat of this chase, the heat of this moment, the two of you can spot out the rag quickly. that is. You know what you're looking for, so it's not like you won't find it. You guys cut down an alleyway. You're like, no, it was this one. It was this one. And you like come out to a street and you look down the at the wall, and you're like, it's not that building, but you hear a guard like slide down the opposite, like he like skids to a stop, and you turn back, and he's raising another crossbow to fire at the two of you as you like make your decision, right or left.
Do we know which one it is?
You know it's somewhere on this street. You're not sure which way, left or right.
I'm going to kind of hook Jin, both of us, and turn us to the left. So that way we're getting behind the corner of the building, trying to go to the next building on the same block. Because we know it's this street. We just don't know which house.
So
currently.
Jin's on your right, and you're pulling him to the left, like that?
Yep. To get him behind the cover first, and then following after him.
Perfect. In which case, that means that Breakspear is the one rolling off against this crossbow bolt. Let's see it. Breakspear and the crossbow guy.
He cheated, but it helped. Never mind.
Woo!
You turn this crossbow bolt. If there wasn't a wall there, momentum wise, it was like a into the head kind of thing. But you're able to like duck a little bit, and it hits the wall first and skims and like ricochets off harmlessly behind the two of you as you continue down. Let's get another search for both of you, looking for this sleeve in the doorway.
Okay. Hello.
We just got the same thing reversed.
The two of you, you're both frantically looking around, and that same guard comes around the corner. He's about like one alley, like one house width down from you again, and he's loaded his crossbow and he's pulling it up again. Decision, or what are we doing? Continue down left or come back towards the guard and head right?
I think it's continue down left. What do you think, bud?
Yeah, keep on going. Just gonna
Perfect.
Keep on. Again, I'm gonna be trying swinging Jin behind cover first, and then go after, because he's got that bolt in his chest.
Perfect. The guard is going to continue shooting at Breakspear, as that was the target he's kind of locked on. So let's see it. As you slide him around cover, you like put your shoulder up to like brace for the incoming crossbow bolt, and the second the crossbow bolt sinks into your shoulder, you remember that those scales had been removed in the battle prior, and it sinks deep into your shoulder, and you can feel the bolt come out like in your armpit, and like as you like run, the bolt is like scraping against like the inside of like your pec and lat kind of thing.
Oh.
And let's roll to see for our search check for the two of you to see if you can find the doorway.
Hey, you got a good roll this time.
You're in pain, and Jin's like, he's like, we got to be getting close, right? And Breakspear, you like frantically look about, and in the alleyway across the street from you, you see the shirt.
I grab Jin, and we're going across the street, but on the far side. So that way we have to go around the back of the house and up to the door.
Try to give him the old slip the tail.
That's what I'm trying.
Let's roll once for the guard real quick to see if he can load his crossbow bolt in the time it takes for you to get across the street. Does he even get another attack?
I don't think he does. I don't think he does.
You're both moving across the street. Breakspear, he takes aim at you again. Let's see it. Another crossbow bolt Breakspear comes in, this one catching you in the back of your rib cage, and it sinks into your back, and you start to like wheeze as you like run with now all of these like bolts in you, your back still scorched from Violet's arcane magic, as the two of you dip down the alleyway. Let's roll a perception check for the guard to see if he just blindly follows you around. You hear him like run down the street, like again slide around a corner, and he's running as you two make it back to the doorway.
Come on, pull! And start pulling on the doorway to get it back open.
Let's see how quickly you guys find this. Which stone becomes the doorknob on this side?
12.
Breakspear, you're able to like touch it, grab it, pull it out, turn it, push the door in, and let's see if the guard is able to close distance before you can close that door.
No, he cannot.
Woo!
As you're closing that door, the guard's hand like makes it into the door frame.
Mm-hmm.
Would you just close the door on his hand?
Yeah. Absolutely. Slam that thing as hard as possible.
Roll for slamming the door on his fingers. Let's see it.
That's nasty.
The door closes and his 4 fingers come off and flop to the floor inside. As the door, you hear his yelp of pain begin, but as the door closes, you can't hear it at all anymore. And the two of you are in the safe house. Real quick, for both of you, let's roll a fort check. For both of you, real quick.
Yeah, please.
Oh.
Jin, you get in the door, you see the fingers come off, and you're like, oh good, and you start to just like tumble down the spiral staircase. And Breakspear, like as your adrenaline's dipping back down, you see Jin like tumble down the staircase a bit, and you kind of have the impulse to like want to reach out for him because you've been like pulling him along so much that you like reach, but as you reach, you find yourself like stagger. You don't full fall down it, but you like stagger down a bunch of stairs and like collapse onto your knee, and the two of you are just like sitting like 6 or 7 stairs down on the first bend, like lay sitting next to each other on this staircase.
Oh. I had a feeling bad was gonna happen. Oh.
Violet is in on it. She knew. She killed Indigo. She was part of it. She knew. They're working together. It's the only way.
As you lay there, you hear 3 perfectly spaced knocks. Knock, wait, knock, wait, knock. At the door that you just couldn't hear a man screaming through. And that is where we are going to end our session for the evening. It's been a whole lot of fun. We've had some very close calls, and we're going to have to see how the other side of the party does in a week's time. But for now, our story is going to rest, and we're going to simmer on this information. And until we see you again, thank you so much for being here tonight. Thanks for watching. Have a great time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you for joining us.